Good morning, Math 2, Math 3 group. We need to talk about how to find a missing side of a right triangle and not use Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so I got a triangle here. ABC is a right triangle because it's got this little right triangle marker. Okay, so let's just pick out some stuff about it. Okay, I'm going to say the angle A is 31 degrees. Okay, I'm going to say that side CA is 9 centimeters. Okay, and I'm going to say that I want to find side BC, so I'm going to call that X because I don't know it. Okay, so a lot of you, when you solved right triangles in middle school or even in high school, you said, well, it's a right triangle, we know Pythagorean theorem, but that doesn't work because I have only one side and I don't know two. Okay, but in this case I want to find X. Okay, there are three sides in any triangle, obviously. In a right triangle, we have special names for those sides. Okay, we can label them by starting with the angle we're given. So we're given angle A. It's 31 degrees. Okay, to find these sides, we start there. Okay, if you draw an arrow across from 31 to X, it's a cross, right? So that is your opposite side. I'm just going to go OPP for up. Okay, so we know X is our opposite side. Okay. Across from your right angle is the longest side. We call that the hypotenuse in math class. So we're going to call that the HYP, or hypotenuse. Okay, and then the 9 centimeters is the bottom side. Notice how the bottom side is kind of next to angle A? Well, if it's next door, we call that adjacent. Adjacent, kind of like your neighbor, is next door. So I'm going to call that ADJ. Okay, if you want to look up these words online, hypotenuse, opposite, adjacent, feel free to. I'm just kind of abbreviating for now. Okay, here's the deal. In math, we have three different ratios we can use to solve missing sides and angles in right triangles. Okay, the first one is sine. The second one is cosine. And the third one is tangent. Okay. We need to figure out which one to use, okay? Luckily, all these things stand for something, okay? Sine is always your opposite side over your hypotenuse. Cosine is always your adjacent side over your hypotenuse. I know it's getting a little small here to read, but stick with me. And then your tangent is always your opposite side over your adjacent. It's like a fraction. Okay. So here's what we know. We know nothing about the hypotenuse, so guess what? I'm going to cross it out because I don't care about it and I'm not going to find it. What I do want is my opposite, which is X, and my adjacent, which is 9. Okay? So those are the two things I care about, O and A, opposite and adjacent. Guess what? Only one of these things I just showed you, one of these new trig ratios I showed you, works. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. Okay? So that's what I'm going to use. Okay? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and erase these two. And I'm only going to use tangent. Okay? So here's how it works. I know the tangent of A, well, the tangent of A is 31 degrees, right? Equals opposite over adjacent. Opposite is X. We don't know it, so I'm going to put X. Over adjacent, well, my adjacent is 9, so I'm going to put 9. Now I have an equation. I can solve this equation. Okay? When you have a fraction, you want to get rid of the bottom of the fraction. You always multiply by the bottom of the fraction. So I'm going to multiply by 9 on both sides. The 9's cancel out over here. So check out this. You got X equals tan 31 times 9. Here's the good news. You can use your calculator for this. So I'm going to head over to the calculator. A few things about your calculator. Again, I know this is not the most clear picture, but stick with me here. Okay. If you notice, you have these little Guys, there we go. Just focus for me. You have sine, cosine, and tan. Okay. Keep in mind, we used tangent. So I'll go back to my calculator again really quick. First thing I need to make sure is that my calculator is in the right mode. You can kind of see there it says degree mode. That's what you want. So you hit clear. Okay. If I hit tangent 31, close your parentheses, times 9, I know it's really small, I get 5.407. Okay? So what I know is that about 5.4 is x. Let's zoom all the way out here. So x equals 5. Let's try that again. X equals 5.4. So if you look at your triangle, the missing side x up here is 5.4 centimeters. Okay? That's one example I'll give you. Figure out the rest.